Good evening and good night, everyone. This is update for April 10, 2022, day 46 of the war, end of the date update. I would like to discuss several high-level topics. Before we're gonna do walkthroughs through the front lines. First of all, we have an updated map, and hopefully you like it more. It looks like it's probably going to be much more clear. Um, few things here. When we have this light yellow, it means that unit is um, weak, in weak condition, but it's a not quantitative, it's more qualitative assessment, and there is no, perfect science. It's just observations based on what we see, processing a lot of inputs. The same goes true for Russian side. The units highlighted by gray are the ones that are suffered significant losses. So that just kind of updates here. In addition, there were questions from some of the viewers regarding Transnistria. So we drew it here. This is territory annexed by Russia in 1992 from Moldova. So technically it's Moldovan territory, but it's controlled by Russia. There is small unit of Russian troops there, about 2,000. So they definitely will not be able to attack Odessa. There was question if they can attack Odessa. That's not a possibility. There is additional update here. We're showing this very critical channel that brings water from Dnipro River to Crimea. So that's where it starts. It's Nova Kakhovka, and then it goes to Crimea. This channel of extreme economic and generally political importance for Russia. So they will try to defend it at all costs here. So they will definitely defend this bridgehead at all costs. In addition, there are other news. Both sides, Ukrainian and Russian, decided they're not gonna continue negotiations until they will try to resolve this Donbass salient on the battlefield. So it really means that the both sides wanna fight, wanna have this epic battle over the Donbass salient before they're gonna sit on the table and negotiate further. So this was openly stated today or yesterday by Ukrainian president, was supported by the representative from EU, and Russia feels the same way. So this really means that both sides are preparing for this epic battle. Overall, it's just positional fighting on front lines, shelling as always. It never stops. People do die and so on, but both sides are preparing for this epic battle. In terms of Russian preparations, they changed their general who is in charge of the whole operation about 3 days ago. His last name is Dvornikov. So we do think that it will take, since he's new, he's just starting it. It will take him some time to get handle on the troops, like understand the whole situation on the front line, better understand the condition of the troops, and that's one reason. And the second reason is just you can see long list of Russian units that are not in good shape, and they need definitely break for many reasons. Just even psychological, because the unit suffered heavy casualties, and just people need a break, need to go home, and then they need to refill the ranks with new, call it professional soldiers, or basically people who want to fight, signing contract. In general, in our assessment, Russia should be able to refill the losses from sort of new volunteers who want to fight that it suffered so far, and then probably will be like last opportunity to totally refill the losses before going into full mobilization. So it does look to us that this battle for Donbass salient is going to be without full mobilization in Russia, but that's going to be last attempt attempt. So if it fails and Russia wants to continue war, it will need to do full-scale mobilization of conscripts. In terms of even if they do refill these units, it will take some time. It will take at least a month in our assessment. So our base case scenario that this battle for Donbass salient will probably happen in about a month, plus minus could be 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5, 6 weeks, somewhere in that ballpark. We could be wrong. We're not saying that this is 100% guaranteed. This is just most probable scenario. The sort of fallback scenario, it's going to happen sooner than that, in about a week or two. But we believe that's a very unlikely scenario, because what we're seeing here, this Izyum bridgehead group that we kind of sort of created for analytical purposes, it's not doing anything. It's lost its offensive capabilities. It definitely itself, it needs some kind of beefing up, and we're not even hearing that 47th Tank Division is even used anymore. It's totally possible that it was expanded in initial phases of creating this bridgehead. At this point, we're only seeing 3rd Mechanized Division and 4th Tank Division fighting there, and even then, there's no active fighting right now. It just shelling and that type of stuff. So it's very clear that even this group is exhausted and needs supply of new troops and obviously equipment as well. But in terms of equipment, we don't see a problem for Russia in terms of equipment. It's about the human side. We do actually, we mentioned that this a couple days ago, that we starting to seeing very early trend in terms of Russian troops lacking military trucks, and they start to use more and more commercial trucks. That's an emerging trend that we're observing. It may be it's still very speculative, but we just want to mention that's a potential problem that might be developing on the Russian side that we seeing there. In terms of Ukrainian side, we also we observed that 95th Brigade received Martlet missiles from the UK. This is very new equipment, basically the most, like, the newest equipment, and it's being used in a surface to air version, which is in a way experimental, was just we believe created in 2021. So the Ukrainian side is finally getting top-notch weapons from, let's say, in this case, UK. That's what we're observing here. There were also other comments from some of the people saying, oh, they were concerned in terms of that we're showing this map with all of the Ukrainian units and it may hurt Ukraine, and that's actually not it doesn't hurt Ukraine, because Russian side knows literally everything what's going on Ukrainian side. There is a big problem on Ukrainian side. There is a huge leakage to Russian intelligence of pretty much anything that's going on Ukrainian side. So, for example, Russian intelligence boasts and they showed like list of equipment that was delivered to Ukraine before the war started from the US and the UK. So literally, every single item, number of items since 2014. So you can imagine sort of level of sort of leakage from the Ukrainian sort of top that goes to Russia. That's one thing. So, for example, the Martlet missiles, that's actually Russian intelligence reported that first. So it's definitely, we're basing all of this, not all of this, but there is quite a bit input is coming from Russian side in terms of Ukrainian situation, and obviously Russian as well. So just realize that both sides know very well what's going on the other side, and probably Russian side knows more than Ukrainian does. For example, another very simple example, that Russian intelligence has like database on all citizens of Ukraine with their phone numbers, their home addresses, literally everything. So, for example, people who sign up for Ukrainian militia and you need to present your passport, all of that information about the militia was leaked to Russia. So when they captured this area west of Kiev, at least that's what we know, they were literally knocking on the doors of the relatives who were in Ukrainian militia. So there is big problem on Ukrainian side. So don't think that we disclosing something that Russian side doesn't know. They know this, and they know much more than this. So this is more just for our discussion, for us to actually know, because neither side want to, share this information with the public. So hopefully that helps. And at this point, let's actually walk through the front lines. So the same situation here in Kharkiv area, around Kharkiv, heavy shelling of Kharkiv from Russian side, but nothing in terms of actual assaults or attempt to take Kharkiv. Here in this Izyum bridgehead, it's there's no new Russian attacks there. So we saw that they're digging in, they're building amount of number of the troops. There are supplies coming through Kupiansk, but they clearly regrouping and preparing for major assault later. Here the same goes true. Not the same, but the situation is stable here in Crimea, where 128th Ukrainian Brigade attacked recently Russian troops and pushed them about like 5 kilometers. But there's no news here. Russian troops continue their attempts to completely take Rubizhne, town of Rubizhne. This is where it is. Ukrainian troops, holding Severodonetsk and trying to, trying to hold it at all costs, because that's important bridgehead for them if they want to in future do some offensive to retake lost Ukrainian territory. So that's more detailed situation. Nothing had changed here. Everything the same. So in terms of tank brigade, we let's say 95% certain that this is 3rd tank brigade operating here. And there's no 17th tank brigade here, so only 3rd tank brigade is operating and supporting 81st brigade and 95th brigade here. Let's keep going here. Look at this this area stretch from south of Severodonetsk to north of Donetsk. So here again, heavy pressure from Russian side on Popasna. They want to really retake this town. They captured about 50% of the town. So and they continue attacking. And by the way, so we looked at this whole stretch here from south of Severodonetsk and even to Volnovakha. In this this 1st and 2nd Army Corps, they really weakened, and they couldn't put this much pressure on Ukrainian side that's happening. So our opinion that these units that we identified, that they are on front lines and we're not sure where they are, we believe that majority of them are actually here with embedded with 1st and 2nd Army Corps, and they're helping in, to attack Ukrainian troops. So that's, we don't we cannot say like all of them, but we believe majority of them are fighting here, because otherwise this 1st and 2nd Army Corps would not be able to create such pressure on Ukrainian side as what's going on right now. So that's, we discussed this situation here. This is just more closer picture on look at Popasna and this main road that connects Lugansk and Severodonetsk that Russian troops want to take as well. In terms of west of Donetsk, it's as always the key towns here is Avdiivka, like continuous attacks on Avdiivka, continuous attacks on Mariupol without much progress. As well here, Russian troops try to put pressure, but there is no there's no progress to sort of show for that. So by the way, this whole stretch from, call it like South Zaporizhia to Vuhledar, it's definitely not held by just Ukrainian militia, and that's we believe that 35th Naval Infantry Brigade is helping militia here, but we don't have firm confirmation. It's just our high probability guess that that's where this brigade is. And in terms of Ukrainian militia, this number here is about brigade. So that's a Ukrainian militia from Zaporizhia region, and the way it works, that's every region has their own militia unit, and typically it's about brigade size. Could be more, could be 2 brigades, because for example Kyiv has much more than 1 brigade. We believe it's 2, maybe even 3 brigades here. So, but definitely significant number in Kyiv, and similar situation depends on the size of the population in the region, but at least the brigade. So that's situation here. In Mariupol, we don't hear any news there in terms of any more progress by Russian troops. It's very clear there is fighting, non-stop fighting going on there. From what we're seeing, it seems that Russian troops are resorting more towards bombing out Ukrainian position and shelling in attempt to soften resistance. And as we discussed before, it's counter, actually, in our opinion, and based on past history, this is counterproductive effort for them, but they persist in it and they believe that that's going to lead them to success. We haven't heard that even from the Russian side, because at this point that's the only source of information about the seaport. They have not confirmed that they captured the whole of the seaport. So we still assume that that they probably definitely captured 70%. Maybe it's 75, 80, 85, we don't know. But they have not even reported they captured the entire seaport. So that's a situation here. Let's have a quick look here in Kherson and Mykolaiv region. As we discussed before, the commander of the 59th Brigade was dismissed. We believe that probably has to do, we don't know, this is, to extend speculation, but we believe that he faced political pressure to do the attack. He did it, which is, was, bridge too far, not possible to push this number of Russian troops out of this bridgehead. And he was dismissed for not being able to do that. In our opinion, that's totally unfair if that's the case, right? If that's the case, because it's just literally mission impossible if you with the number of troops Ukraine has here, it's totally impossible to destroy this bridgehead, basically. Okay, well, that's it for today. Thanks again for watching. We want to just give you a heads up that we are traveling for family reasons all of the next week and half of the following week. So we're thinking about doing updates every other date. And then if there is something urgent, we will obviously do it, every day. If there is this epic battle around the Donbass salient, we will obviously do the updates. The maps may not be in perfect condition, so we're asking you to be patient, to understand that we also have sort of family situation, but we're definitely committed to provide as relevant, as current information as we've been doing so far. Thanks again, everyone. Until next time. Bye-bye.